Philippi is one of the larger townships in Cape Town, comprising of housing and farmland. Although the area is slated for future big business development, for now it's down to social innovators and entrepreneurs to create local opportunity and employment. Y-Waste, a Philippi service company, reflects a growing trend of new generation innovators. Y-Waste provides eco-friendly solutions to hotels and food outlets for converting food waste into organic compost.
We process food waste and we turn it into organic compost. The idea generated, we saw a gap in the market of organic compost. We were producing compost at home and thought, why not try it commercially? And here we are 4 years later.
And how do you differ from other compost businesses?
The main difference is we're processing food waste. So whereas other compost companies will process manures, we do food waste and then produce the compost out of it.
Okay. Can you just talk us through the actual process from like where you get it from to where you deliver it to?
Okay, so what we do is we process the compost, we collect compost from hotels, stores, distribution centers, or anyone that generates food waste. We bring it to our plant in Philippi where we process it. We then turn that compost, we process that compost and then we turn that into a sellable product at hotels, nurseries, or home users that want to use compost.
Okay. And what they're doing here, they're just emptying stuff that's past its sell-by?
Yeah, basically what they're doing now is they're processing the packaging. So they take the packaging away from the compost. The packaging that can be recycled, we recycle that. The food waste is then taken through to the back where the guys turn it and process the compost, and then it gets sifted and treated. So that's the basic process here, it's just taking out all the contaminants.
You mentioned that whole microbe setup. Can
Yes.
you talk about that?
So what happens is the food waste is actually treated with efficient microbes. The microbes break down the bacteria that are present in the food waste. They soften it and then make it a bit easier for them to turn into compost and a little bit quicker.
Okay. And so this is perfectly safe? There's no...
Yeah, basically what happens is the microbes eat bad bacteria. So everything that is potentially hazardous in the food waste is absorbed by the bacteria and processed and then turned into its rawest form of element, and then it becomes a normal element that you'd find in your trace elements for compost.
Okay. Can you just talk about the growth of your company, how you started and where you're at now?
We started with one client in 2010, and we currently have 20 clients on our books. We're processing between 60 and 80 tons a month currently, and yeah, we seem to be doubling up our waste stream every 6 months.
Okay. And employment, how many people you got employed here?
Currently we have 13 staff working for us. So what we try and focus on is the creation of employment for unskilled young labor. We feel that there's a big gap in the market for this. A lot of businesses will tend to just use machinery, whereas they could possibly employ more people and then in turn improve the economy that we're currently living in.
Okay. And what's the feedback, if that's the right term?
So far it's very good. The responses we get from compost users that we supply to, they're very impressed with the quality and the high nutritional levels of the compost. As far as our waste collection services, all of our clients are extremely happy with how we provide the service of waste collection and management. We feel that, especially in this day and age, service is a little bit below par than where it should be. And in an industry like this, we feel that we'd like to become the leaders of the type of service people should be experiencing and be provided.
Right. What's your main challenges?
Our current main challenges would be just the newness of the market and the lack of understanding of what we are doing. So people would not necessarily want to do this because they're just unaware of what the process is. So there is that natural fear. Other tendencies is we are a small business. So in the business environment, it is very difficult to carry unnecessary expenses and those things as a small business. The infrastructures in place are a bit limited for growth and scope. But again, it comes with the territory. You need to prove yourself. So, it's just something that we look at and relish to just become better and more sufficient at what we're doing.
Okay. What are you after? I mean, if you could actually put a call out there, what do you need?
Ideally, we'd like to improve our infrastructure at the moment. There's potential with social development for businesses to help young small businesses or entrepreneurs. So we'd like to tap into that market. We'd like to have access to larger waste streams, and then potentially try and just grow it as best as possible in an environment that is forgiving to that.
Okay. And just hard brass tacks, are you looking for investment? Are you looking for strategic partners?
We are looking more at strategic partners because we feel that the business is growing. Financial investment would help, obviously, for machinery or capital equipment that we need to process. But ideally, you ask for money, people aren't going to give it to you. So that's just the reality.
Okay, cool. That's great. Thanks a lot.
Is that it?